Okay, so obviously I don't watch a lot of modern TV. I've made that abundantly clear over time. It's not even some dramatic boycott, it's just a natural result of being burned one too many times. You sit down, you give something a chance, and within half an hour, you can already see exactly where it's going, and worse, you don't care. The characters feel hollow, the dialogue feels manufactured, and the whole thing comes across like it was built in a boardroom rather than written by someone with an actual story to tell. And after a while, that just kills your interest completely, because once you've seen that pattern enough times, you stop trusting the hype, you stop believing the praise. Every "this one's different" starts sounding exactly the same as the last 10 disappointments. So instead of jumping in, you sit back, you ignore it, and you stick to what you already know works. But every now and then, something keeps coming up. You hear it from different people, different places, years apart, and the message is always the same. This one actually gets it right. Not perfect, not flawless, but solid, consistent, worth watching. And that curiosity starts creeping in. Not excitement, let's not go that far, but curiosity, enough to finally go, fine, I'll give it a look. Right, so now you're at that point where you're actually considering giving it a shot. You're not expecting miracles, you're not even expecting to finish it, but hey, curiosity's a stubborn thing. You settle in, remote in hand, and there's this tiny, almost reluctant hope that maybe, just maybe this time it will be different. And that's how it always starts, isn't it? One foot in the pit, wondering if you're about to find something worth the plunge, or just end up confirming all your worst suspicions about modern TV. Well, let's see where this goes, shall we? And that's exactly where I found myself. Because, well, this isn't some brand new show riding a wave of marketing. This is something that's been sitting there for years, quietly building a reputation. No constant noise, no desperate attention seeking. Just people consistently saying it's good. So eventually, I caved. I sat down, pressed play, and honestly, I went in with low expectations. Because, frankly, that's the safest way to approach anything these days. Now, I haven't finished it yet, let's make that very clear. I'm about halfway through the first season, and I'm not about to pretend I've seen the full picture. But I've watched enough to get a proper feel for what it's doing, how it's structured, and whether it's actually earned that reputation, or if it's just another case of overhyped nonsense. And here's the thing. So far, it hasn't given me a reason to switch it off, which these days is already saying a lot. Welcome to the Snake Pit, where we're full of bile and venom. I'm your host, Snake Damon, and today I'm taking a look at something I genuinely didn't expect to spend time on: Daredevil. Now on paper, this shouldn't be anything special. You've got Matt Murdock, a lawyer by day, vigilante by night, operating in Hell's Kitchen, blinded as a kid in an accident, but gaining heightened senses that basically let him see the world in ways normal people can't. It's a concept that could very easily fall into the usual superhero nonsense: over-the-top powers, flashy fights, zero consequences. Alright, so let's get into the meat of it, the critique. Now, I know everyone's got opinions and, well, here's mine. There's a lot to appreciate, but there are a few things that just don't quite land, at least for me. Some moments feel a bit too self-serious, like the show's trying so hard to be important that it forgets to have a bit of fun now and then. And honestly, there are stretches where the pacing drags. I get that they're building atmosphere, but sometimes it feels like we're just spinning our wheels, waiting for something big to happen. Still, when it works, it really works. The character work is strong, the stakes actually feel high, and there's a sense of place that a lot of other shows just can't pull off. But yeah, it's not perfect, and that's all right. Nobody's expecting perfection. We just want something that feels honest, something that respects our intelligence and doesn't spoon-feed us every little detail. So it's got its flaws, but it's got some real strengths too. But straight away, you can tell this isn't aiming for that. The tone is grounded, gritty, almost uncomfortable at times, and more importantly, it takes its time. That's probably the first thing that stood out to me. This show isn't in a rush. 6 episodes in, and instead of throwing constant action at you to keep your attention, it builds. Slowly, methodically. You're not just watching fights, you're watching context. You're seeing how everything connects, how each character fits into the bigger picture. And that's something a lot of modern shows completely forget how to do. The story itself revolves around the criminal underworld tightening its grip on the city. Different factions, the Russians, the Yakuza, the Chinese, all circling the same territory, all trying to gain control, and behind all of it is Wilson Fisk. Now, Fisk is where things start to get interesting, because he's not introduced like your typical villain. There's no big dramatic entrance, no over-the-top speech about world domination. Instead, he's built up gradually, through whispers, through consequences, through the impact he has on everyone else before you even properly see him. And when he does step into the spotlight, he feels real, controlled, calculated, dangerous in a way that doesn't rely on spectacle. He genuinely believes he's doing the right thing, that everything he's building, all the violence, all the control, it's for the good of the city, and that kind of mindset makes him far more engaging than your standard evil for the sake of it villain. But what really sells the show isn't just the big picture, it's the smaller moments. Matt Murdock himself isn't some perfect, untouchable hero. He gets hurt a lot. He makes mistakes. He misjudges situations. There are times where he's barely holding himself together, physically and mentally, and you can feel it. That's something that's been missing from a lot of modern interpretations of these kinds of characters. The sense that what they're doing actually costs them something. Here, every fight feels like it matters. And then you've got that corridor scene. No cuts, no flashy editing tricks, just one long, brutal sequence of Matt pushing through exhaustion, injury, and sheer willpower to get the job done. It's messy, it's raw, and it feels real in a way that most action scenes don't even attempt anymore. That one moment alone tells you exactly what kind of show this is trying to be. But it's not just Matt carrying things. Foggy and Karen, characters that could very easily have been sidelined or reduced to background noise, actually feel important. They're not just there to fill space. They have their own stakes, their own involvement in what's going on, and their own reactions to the chaos unfolding around them. And crucially, they react like people, not mouthpieces, not placeholders, people. Even the pacing of the legal side of things adds something. It grounds the show. It reminds you that this isn't just about punching criminals in the dark. It's about trying to navigate a broken system in the daylight as well. Now, that's not to say it's flawless. Like I said earlier, I haven't finished it yet, so I'm not about to crown it as some untouchable masterpiece. And because we've all seen shows that start strong and then lose their way. It happens all the time. Pacing can slip, characters can drift. The tone can shift into something completely different. And that's why I'm holding back from going all in on praise. But what I can say is this: 6 episodes in, it understands what it's doing. It knows its tone. It respects its characters. And it doesn't feel like it's constantly trying to grab your attention with cheap tricks or forced moments. It just tells its story. And honestly, that alone puts it ahead of a lot of what's out there. Because when you strip everything else away, that's what people actually want. Not noise, not spectacle, not messaging dressed up as storytelling. Just a solid, well-told story with characters you can invest in. So, yeah, I went in expecting very little. And so far, I've been proven wrong. Not completely sold just yet, but definitely interested enough to keep going. Although maybe not right now. And these days, that's about as strong an endorsement as you're going to get. Thanks for dropping by the Snake Pit, where we thrive on untapped potential and lost opportunities. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell, like the video and leave your opinions in the comments, where naturally I won't read them. Until next time, stay venomous.